Also has a lot of experience in the family law world, which, kind of that's what this trial's about. We're kind of bringing these two worlds together here. Dwane, often, do you ever see those two worlds collide like they have in this trial?
They collide all the time. There's actually statutes in Arizona that if you get a DUI, then the other parent is presumed to be the proper person to have sole custody of the child. So, anytime there's a domestic violence charge, that makes one parent more preferable to have custody than another. And, these two worlds collide all the time, and sometimes people even use them, to try to get their advantage. They'll hire private investigators to follow their spouse that they're in a divorce with to see if they can get him a DUI. So that kind of stuff happens a lot.
Wow. So in this case, looking at Elizabeth Johnson and Logan McQuarrie, Logan had some issues with the law. So my guess is in Arizona, that it gives Elizabeth Johnson a bit of an upper hand in that battle.
It did. And, we're going to have to hear the tapes because I haven't heard the tapes of the hearing and what was said at the hearing. Now, I understand that at that hearing, Elizabeth Johnson, they stipulated that Logan was the father and took care of that issue. So they didn't have to go get a paternity test to prove that Logan was the father. And a lot of times what judges in family law hearings are mediators. They try to get the two parties to come together and to agree to some sort of visitation schedule with the child. So I don't know if this was a contested hearing where both parties were taking a stand and trashing each other trying to get sole custody, or whether at some point the judge just talked them into shared custody. But, we're going to hear the tapes, and obviously there's something on these tapes that the defense thinks is interesting, so we'll have to wait and listen.
And it's interesting, Dwane, you talk about the two worlds that you've been involved in as a lawyer, family law and criminal law. I think most people from the outside presume that, being a criminal defense lawyer or a prosecutor, that's the most dangerous place to be as a lawyer, when really the most dangerous place to be as a lawyer is in family court, because people are so emotional about what they are fighting for. It's you get into criminal court and you deal with the, your regular criminal, you understand it's part of doing business. But when you get into family law, it's emotions, it's people's lives that are torn apart, custody, money, spitefulness, one spouse cheating on another. Things get very volatile.
They do, and there's a saying that when you do criminal law, you got bad people acting good, and when you do family law, you got good people acting bad. And I found that to be my experience. I had a colleague of mine in Yuma, Arizona, just about a year ago. The spouse of somebody that he was representing one party in a divorce, and the other party walked into his office, shot him in the head. I mean, it's way more. My wife worries about me sometimes in criminal law, the people that I deal with. And I tell her I'm fine. I was in much more danger when I was doing family law.
Absolutely, and we understand that the jury is now entering the courtroom.